Welcome to the Kingdom Corner. I'm Andrew. This is Dale. Man, we are
Man,
recapping the
recapping.
Chargers week. So we're going to be talking about, man, is Pat Mahomes broken today?
Oh my goodness.
Is Travis Kelce washed, or did he just prove to everybody that he's not? Or did he just have a lucky game? What about Rashee Rice? Can we replace him with anybody? Oh, and can't forget, Kareem Hunt is on the roster now.
Yes.
Oh, man, we're going to get to all this, Dale, and more. So come hang out with us.
Mahomes looks to throw it. Pump faking right side. He wants it. A comeback cut. It is caught by Kelce. Touchdown! Kansas City. The game is over. The Kansas City Chiefs are champions. How about those Chiefs?
All right, Dale, let's get into this. So let's just start right from the top. The Chargers and the Chiefs start the game, and first drive, Chiefs fumble the ball away.
Man.
What are you thinking at this point? Carson Steele, first touch of the game and fumbles it.
Well, I just go, here we go again. I mean, you can't just keep hurting yourself. And I think that's what the Chiefs have been doing all year. They've been hurting themselves with the penalties and, just the turnovers. I mean, Pat's not innocent here on this either. He has a bunch of interceptions on the year so far. And so, I mean, the ball's the program. And so we just have to be able to take care of the ball and take care of that. And so Steele, we'll talk about it, but didn't get in very much after that.
No, not at all. Not at all. So,
and we've seen that script before with Andy. Like he'll give you one time, he'll let you learn, and hey, let's make sure we protect that ball. But then you do it a second time, especially in such a short amount of time, because I guess he fumbled in that Falcons game, and then he fumbles the next week, and it's like, oh, okay, you're sitting, young man.
Yeah, it was not a good look for him at all. So. And you remember a few years ago, they had LaShawn McCoy on the team, came over from the Eagles, signed him in the offseason, and he's starting to play fairly well for the Chiefs because I was after the Jamal Charles time. And so looking for another running back, and they're like, hey, this might be the guy. He did really good. But as we've talked about many times, LaShawn McCoy does not know how to run with the football because he just holds it in his hand and runs like this.
Yeah.
And he's like, oh, no one can catch me. Then he fumbles, which really cost him the game. It was the game that Pat Mahomes was hurt and injured, wasn't even playing in that game. But Matt Moore was playing. Shout out Matt Moore.
Man.
Won us a few games. Would have won that game, too, if LaShawn McCoy hadn't fumbled. And after that, I don't know that he saw the field again. If he
No,
did,
I don't think so. Yeah.
So found himself buried at the end of the bench. Then after that season, talked about how toxic the Chiefs are. And I'm quite confident that if the season had gone differently for him, he might not have had that same kind of thought process in that.
Yeah. Well, yeah, exactly. And so he did it to himself, right? He brought it on him. He brought it on himself. So, but we don't have to talk about LaShawn McCoy. No. I mean, who cares? Yeah.
Now, all that to say this though is that Andy Reid will give you one or maybe two chances for that, but you keep throwing that out there and giving the ball to the other team, especially in critical games and critical situations. And against a division rival like the Chargers, that's a critical game. You got to win your division before you can win anything else. So that's the first goal. So you can't do that. And Carson Steele did that second time this season. He's done that, put the ball in the other team's hands. And especially when you're running up the middle, you have to cover that ball with both hands.
Yeah.
You have to know that. I mean, I've never played in the NFL. But I know that. I know if you run between the tackles, you put both hands on that thing, and you're not letting anybody knock it out. When you only have one hand running through that many bodies, it's just a matter of time before it gets knocked out.
And defensive players are trained to just, if you can't get the tackle, like reach in there and try to grab the ball. And that's exactly what that guy did. He reached in there and tried to grab the ball. And I think he did make the tackle as well. But yeah, it just, man, you got to protect the ball.
Yep, absolutely you do. So we have Kareem Hunt now, though. So Kareem Hunt comes in after Carson Steele fumbled that ball. He got one more carry the rest of the game. So his total line for the day, 2 carries for 6 yards. He was going to be the starter, as we saw. He was on the field to start the game, got that fumble, and Andy Reid said, all right, next man up. Kareem Hunt comes in, first game activated to the active 53-man roster. And what do you know? You called it. Kareem Hunt doesn't look like he's lost much.
No.
I was telling you to control your emotions here and saying, hey, don't oversell him. This guy, he's sitting on the couch somewhere and then comes into the game. Just you don't expect that, but maybe he just has remembered that much of the Chiefs system. I don't know.
Right, and I think he slimmed down a little bit. He looks a little thinner than he did in Cleveland, and he was running. He was running through those holes, and there was one time where I thought, like, man, go, and then he did it. I think it was like a draw play, and he kind of hesitated, then he just went and got like 9 yards. It was pretty impressive what Kareem Hunt was doing on the field, and not, I mean, like, to only be in the offense 2 weeks was pretty impressive.
Yeah, that's really impressive. So, according to what the best knowledge I have, he's 5'11", 216 pounds.
Wow.
So I don't know what he was when he was in Kansas City, but that seems not as big as I thought. I thought he was going to be around 230. But
okay, there you go. So he's lean and mean, man. He's like a bowling ball.
Yeah, for sure. For reference, Isaiah Pacheco, also 216 pounds.
Okay.
So he's 5'10", though. So
we get popped back, man. We get that two-headed monster in the backfield.
Yeah, well, even Samaje Perine, man, even he got more carries than Carson Steele did for the game. So, and he's the one punching into the end zone with the help of Trey Smith grabbing onto him and basically carrying him as a football into the end zone. But hey, he gets the touchdown either way.
Whatever you gotta do to get in the end zone. And I mean, the play before that, Kareem got them real close to the goal line. So I mean, like, you saw that, like, he set him up and then he took a breather and P-Ryan. I mean, it's just nice to know that you don't have to have like just one back in there. It's good to have depth on the team. And I think that's Brett Veach has done a tremendous job of developing that running back room and, figuring it out. So where you can just sub guys in and out and know that they're going to perform to a high level.
Yeah, so Kareem Hunt ended up with 69 yards on the day, averaging almost 5 yards a carry, 4.9. With a long run of 10 yards. But I mean, Kareem Hunt is kind of like the Derrick Henrys of the world, where as the game goes on, he hasn't lost a step, and he's going to keep pounding it at you. And so, in fairness to Kareem Hunt, when he was in Cleveland, he has some good games too, but playing behind Nick Chubb, who's a big body back, he's going to get all those hard yards and run fast too. He probably wasn't getting the carries or the looks as often as he might be getting now in the next few weeks.
So what do you think what's the play forward here?
Oh, Kareem Hunt's going to be the starter.
Okay.
No hesitation.
No questions there, folks.
No.
You heard it first here on the Kingdom Corner. Kareem Hunt is the starter for the Kansas City Chiefs. Okay, I'm glad you finally came over to the right side.
Well, if they don't, they're going to have to answer to me.
There you go. All right,
they have to. But I got a lot of questions for him if he's not. So, and nothing against Carson Steele. I still think he has the potential to be a great player.
Oh, yeah.
I just think that Kareem Hunt, with what he showed you in this game and what you can see from him going forward, I don't know how you can not start him.
And Andy hasn't been a man of his word. He says he always goes with the hot hand. Well, Kareem's got the hot hand. All right, let's just go with him. I mean, 4.9 yards a carry. I mean, that's pretty impressive. Just, coming off the couch and playing like that. I mean, he's hungry. You can tell he's hungry. He's ready to go. And so I think that'll help Pat, especially with the loss of Rashee Rice. Well, we don't know if that's true or not, for how long. We'll find out later today.
Yeah, we'll find out. So we'll get to him just saying, how about this Travis Kelce guy? Is he still washed, or did he just have a lucky game, or is he just the guy he's always been?
I think he's the guy he's always been, but I talked to you a little bit. I thought they were force feeding it to him a little too much, a little too early, and I think almost kind of like to prove that, like, okay, he's not washed, he's not, he's still the guy. And I mean, I think they targeted him like once before Pat overthrew it, and then it's just and then a couple times before. And so, I just thought they were just trying to get him going a little too much instead of just taking what the defense gave you. I would like to see just like let it be natural or organic, as we use a lot in the church world, organic to just get Travis Kelce in the offense. Like, if he's open, great. He can be the first option, but if he's not, like, find someone else. And so I felt like it was a little too forced. But no, I never doubted Travis Kelce. I thought he was ready. I think as they talk about this three-peat, and it's on the mind. I think he's one of the guys banging that drum in the locker room, and so he's got to prove that he's ready to work and ready to do it. And so if he's not, then no one else is going to buy in, especially the wide receivers.
Yeah, well, I agree with you that Travis Kelce's not lost a step. He's the same guy he's always been. We said that in our last episode.
Yeah.
If you didn't hear that, you can go check that one out still. But
yeah,
he's still the same guy. It's just how teams are covering him and all those other elements to go in that with that. But I do think there's a few times that Pat Mahomes was forcing it into him, but I mean, other than the interception,
right?
I mean, he was still catching the ball? Right?
Well, yeah. I'm not saying that
So why does it matter if you're forcing it to him if he's catching the ball?
Yeah, because I think that hasn't been what they've been doing all year. He was catching it, and that was great that he was catching it. But I mean, there's other players. Let's get other players going too. It just felt like they had an agenda. Let's get Travis Kelce
get other players going. He's the one who has not been going on the team.
Well, I know, but I'm just saying.
No, you're saying let's get other players going. It's like, hey, we're still trying to get Travis Kelce going here, bud.
Right, but let's do it organically. Let's not force it. That's all I'm saying.
I'm saying is they've been trying to do organically the last few weeks. How'd that work out for him?
Well, it was like you just mentioned. He was doubled and tripled coverage. So, I mean, yes, the Chargers play a lot of zone. I think it would have eventually opened up, and it did. I mean, that 40-yard, 39-yard catch down the sideline, I mean, that was amazing. And it looked like old Travis Kelce. Use those plays. I felt like he was covered in that one situation with the turnover. He had a guy right behind him, and he had a guy on over top of him. And I was like, he wasn't going to do much with that ball. Anyway, I mean, I'm sure there was a safety valve somewhere on the field. I haven't looked the all 22. I haven't watched the all 22 yet to confirm this. But, it's like that wasn't – I don't think that was we can talk about Pat in a second, but that wasn't a very good throw or a very good decision. And then we saw it just probably not ruined our season, but has the possibilities of ruining our season.
So is that a throw that Pat Mahomes can usually make, though, squeezing it in between those two defenders?
Yeah, I think there's a time for it. In the first quarter, on the first drive, maybe, or on the second drive, maybe not the time.
Yeah, don't try to score points in the first quarter. That makes no sense.
Well, I mean, it was first down. It was first down, bud.
If you can make those plays, should you make those plays?
I guess I'm playing this. I guess I'm playing. I guess with Monday quarterbacking right here, knowing what happened afterwards, I would have said let's throw.
It's easy to say that now.
Oh yeah,
but if he catches that, are you even complaining about it? Because that's a 15, 20-yard gain right there.
Well, at what cost? At what cost?
I just said, if he catches the ball, are you even going to say anything about that? You're probably here saying, man, did you see that throw by Patrick Mahomes? It was a dime right between the two defenders.
It would have been, but it was not.
And Kelce came down that huge play. That's the guys we know. That's the guys
Ifs and buts were candy and nuts. We'd all have a Merry Christmas. Unfortunately, it was not caught. It was overthrown.
But I'm just saying, should he even try to make that throw, or are you just telling him for the whole year, don't even try those?
No, I'm saying, hey, you make that throw if everyone else is covered. I don't know, I guess I shouldn't say anything because I haven't watched the all 22. I haven't watched that play in particular to say okay, this guy Rashee Rice was wide open in the flat and could have got you 10 yards. Would you take in the first down, or would you take in an interception? That's all I'm asking.
Well, if you say that, put it that way, you're always going to take the one that's not an interception.
Oh, okay. All right. So maybe you shouldn't make that throw.
Yeah, but you're also assuming a lot by not watching the full coverage of the field.
I will by our next episode. I'll have watched the all 22 on the Kansas City Chiefs.
All right. So let's ask this. Has Pat Mahomes, is he broken?
Man.
Is there anything we can do to fix it? Is he going to even figure it out this year, or is they going to just be maybe by the time we get to December, he'll have it done?
Well, that's the crazy thing about Patrick is last year we could have said he's broken. The offense looks terrible. Nothing's moving, nothing's working. And then all of a sudden the playoffs go and he just moves the ball down the field. He does exactly what he needs to do. And so, are we ready to bench Pat? No, heck no, and never. I mean, perish the thought. I mean, our next person would be Carson Wentz, and I do not. I've seen that film. I've seen that movie, and it is not a very good one. But
I don't know. Carson Wentz helped lead the Eagles to a Super Bowl. I mean, I know he got injured before they got there.
Yeah, Nick Foles won the Super Bowl. Yeah.
But they don't get there without Carson Wentz
either. Did you see him play for the Colts?
Yeah, I
did. He sprained both ankles on one play.
That's hard to do.
Sorry. Both ankles on one play.
I'm not disagreeing with you. I'm just trying to get you going here.
All right. Yeah. So, but yeah, Pat's not broken. He'll figure it out, and he's going to keep winning games. And I think case in point, they're down 10 points. He gets you the long pass, Xavier Worthy. He gets you in field goal range. Bucker, unfortunately, I mean, they didn't get him very close, but they could have tied that game going into halftime. But unfortunately did not. I mean, 65 yards is a long. That's a long kick. Ways. It's a long kick. So, and then what does he do? He's like, hey, it's tied 10-10. What do we need to do? We need to get a score. And he leads his team down to score. And then the defense, which, my goodness, I think we're going to start. I think we're going to have to change our format here, because I think we're going to start leading. We have to start leading with the defense because, man, they are.
Don't you always want to end on a good note?
Well, I know, but I mean, like, let's talk about the hype. Let's get them going.
Okay, well, let me ask you this before we get off the offense. So, So let's talk about this play that you at least reference here. So Mahomes throws an interception, right?
Oh, man, yeah, and terrible throw.
But yeah, not a good throw. He's been underthrowing guys all year. Then this time, I don't know if he's trying to overcompensate or whatever, but overthrows Kelsey. Kelsey tries to go up there and realizes, I can't even get to that, and kind of turns around to see. The guy intercepts it, runs back, and then a bunch of Chiefs are, swarming in on him on the sideline here, including Patrick Mahomes. Yeah. Rashee Rice comes in and knocks the ball out, and if no one goes out of bounds, the Chiefs are going to recover that. But as we saw in the replay, people went out of bounds and Chargers ball. But either way, Rashee Rice knocks it out, and in the process, Mahomes is under there trying to take the guy's knees out, and in doing so, takes Rashee Rice's knee out and bends it the way you don't want it to bend.
Right.
I mean, from all looks at it, it is not a good injury. I mean,
no.
Probably an ACL tear or something like that, just based on how it looks, but we'll find out for sure today probably after they get the MRI and everything else. But Mahomes, two bad decisions on the same play, interception, and then taking out your own guy's knee. I'm not saying he did it purposefully by any means.
Oh, no. Yeah.
It was all just part of the game, but it's just unfortunate how that all ended up. So with Rashee Rice out, who was our leading receiver for the year.
Leading the league, I think. Was he leading the league in receptions and yards?
He was after the catch. I don't know about total yards.
Okay, all right.
If he wasn't, he was at least top 3. But
he
was
so top NFL receivers this year. So,
and now he's potentially out for the entire year.
Right.
So, I mean, what are the Chiefs' offense going to do?
Yeah. I think,
do we have enough weapons to still compete and win games?
Yeah, we got Sky Moore. Of course, we got enough weapons. Okay. I mean, my goodness. I mean,
hey, Rashee Rice is out. Let's bring back Kadarius Toney.
Hey, why not? I think he's on the practice squad somewhere. I guess we could pick him up
with the Browns.
Yeah, well, I guess we could pick him up.
You can pick up any of the practice squad guys. Why not pick up Toney? Right? I mean, he's an elite receiver. Just ask him; he'll tell you.
Yeah.
So, no.
I was just joking, but Sky Moore. But no, I do think again, I think we probably talk about the front office a little too much in this podcast, but Brett Veach with grabbing Juju when he was let go by the Patriots, I think was a big move. And I think it's going to prove out to be the right move, because I think Juju just a couple years ago helped us win a Super Bowl. And I think he can fill that role. Now, he's not as explosive as Rashee Rice is on the yards after catch, but he can keep the ball. He can keep the chains moving with, making sure he has sure hands. He can catch the ball. I mean, it's a crazy thought on the Chiefs wide receiver room, but you catch the ball, you just keep them the chains moving down the field, and you score. So, I think we'll be fine. But it is definitely a big hurt, because Rashee was a big part of the offense. I mean, I don't know how many catches I think what do you have, like 12 or 13 against Atlanta for 110 yards. I mean, it was just, he was the offense that game.
Yeah, it was a lot, whatever it was. To your point, Juju, when he was with the Chiefs a few years ago, he had 933 yards receiving that year. So might not have the explosiveness, as you mentioned, of Rashee Rice, but definitely the potential is still there. That was just a year removed between his first inning and now. So surely he's still got. But the real question: should the Chiefs or Brett Veach, should they go out and try to get another wide receiver, or do you think that they got the guys on the roster already who can do it?
I think they got the guys. I think McCole Hardman. I mean, I know he's a kickoff and punt return guy right now, but he's proven that he can make some plays. That jet sweep, he's pretty good at. Those wide receiver screens, he can catch and get. I mean, just get him in space. I think they can do that. Then you got Xavier Worthy, who's learning and growing. He's looking better each game.
Yeah.
And so I think it's just gonna be time. I think we got the guys. Watson is sure-handed. Is it Watson? Yeah, Watson is sure-handed. And then you got Noah Gray, who looks, he's making plays. And I think, you're just going to have to be a little more creative, I guess would be the word, with your players. But, I think we've talked about this a little bit, but like the Chiefs offense is very complex. And I think it takes guys who don't know the Chiefs offense. It takes them a lot longer to get into the rhythm. What was that guy's name? Flash? Who is that?
Oh, Josh Gordon.
Josh Gordon came. And we were so excited about him coming. And then he never really got in the game because I don't think he understood the playbook.
Or he's just not that good. I mean, look, he's not on anybody else's team either.
Well, he's old now. He's ancient, right? Is he he was?
I don't know how old he is.
Yeah.
But, I mean, he had all the potential to.
Well,
if he still had anything. But remember, he was coming off a year. Out of the
suspension,
league.
Year suspension.
And so
smoking pot.
When you're out of the league for, it doesn't matter how long you're out for. If you're out for a year or more, it's going to hurt you. Look at Deshaun Watson, right?
Oh, Le'Veon Bell.
Yeah, I mean, same kind of things. Deshaun Watson, I mean, when he was playing for the Texans, was considered one of the best, and some people even argued as the best quarterback in the league. Right. I would not have made that argument because Patrick Mahomes is still playing, but some people made that argument.
Yeah,
and it was at least a good argument to have. But now, look at him, ever since he's come back, he's lost everything. He doesn't have anything anymore.
Nothing. And one could say that the Chiefs broke him.
The Chiefs broke him?
Yeah.
How did they break Deshaun Watson?
Well, that playoff game was, I think, the last full game he played, and then he got
that it?
And then he got in trouble, and then he was out, and then he came back, and maybe the Chiefs broke him.
I didn't realize that was his last game, but if that's the case, then who knows? Maybe so. Maybe he's just always thinking, if I don't get 50 points, I'm not going to win this game.
Oh, yeah. Well, that's true, too. Man, what an offense. Kareem Hunt's back, baby. Come on.
Hey, we said before in 2018, right, that if Kareem Hunt hadn't got
kicked off the team,
rightfully kicked off the team, then the Chiefs probably would have won the Super Bowl.
Oh, easily.
So, I mean, we almost beat the Patriots in the AFC Championship game, but somebody lined up offsides and we didn't win it anyways. But might have been a different game, but
might have been.
Yeah, I agree though. I think the Chiefs got the players in the building that they need to.
Yeah.
So especially, you get Travis Kelce going like he kind of did this last game, but then you also saw flashes just this game against the Chargers with Xavier Worthy.
Oh yeah,
he had a huge play, for 50-some yards. For a touchdown, but then he had a couple of crucial third down catches just on slants and and crossing routes and stuff too. So
he kind of took the Rashee Rice role, right? Rashee usually doing those crossing routes, and so him knowing the plays was very good, was very cool to see.
Yeah, for sure. So got to get more like that if we want to continue that and not miss Rashee Rice as much. We're going to miss him either way, but. We can manage with who we got if all these guys will take the next step, including Xavier Worthy, including Juju and all of these other guys too. So, I mean, we came into the season thinking, man, this is going to be the best wide receiver room Patrick Mahomes has ever had.
Yeah.
We got Hollywood Brown. We got Rashee Rice.
Pacheco.
We got Juju coming back.
Pacheco.
We're talking about wide receivers here, bud.
I know, but the offense,
wide receiver room.
He can catch the ball out of the backfield.
True. So can Kareem Hunt. So,
yes, he can.
Yeah, I said, but to your, with all that said, we thought this is going to be the most weapons that across the board that Patrick Mahomes has ever had, with respect to Tyreek Hill and all these other guys who've been there. But we've had one guy or maybe two guys before, but this year we're like, man, we got 3, 4, 5 guys that are legitimate threats, across the board. And now we got Travis Kelce and maybe Xavier Worthy, right? And so, but all that's to say is don't worry. I think the Chiefs are still going to be okay.
Oh yeah.
Especially, let's get into the defense, right? With how their
Oh
defense
man.
has been playing,
Oof,
I don't know.
man.
You don't have to score 30 points a game.
No.
If you score 30 points a game, you're going to blow them out.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah, easily. It's crazy to look at our defense, and like it seems like we're not going to be able to stop anybody in the first drive. Like, how are we going to stop this? Chargers offense. I mean, he was hitting 7 for 7, just marching down the field, and they scored, and it seemed easy. And then we turn the ball over, and they get a field goal. It's 10-0. I'm like, man, we're not gonna get out of this game. We're gonna get blown out by the Chargers. And then the defense just buckles down and doesn't let them score in the end zone. Or I know they kicked a field goal and the guy missed it, but they just did not. They just locked down. That defense is good. Do I dare say elite?
I will. Elite.
All right. Period. Elite defense. We are.
Put a period on it. Elite.
Yes. Elite defense.
Yeah. I mean, they're almost at this point, they're going to give up a score on the first drive, it seems like. But they're figuring you out that first drive. They're figuring out that first, second drive. And then once they figure out what you're doing, good luck to you.
Right.
Good luck to you, sir, because it's not going to be an easy game for you. And I know the Chargers are banged up in a lot of places, so they might not be to full power as we're going to see them later in the year. But even so, you can only play who's in front of you.
That's exactly right. And I don't think they're 2 tackles. I think it was probably the biggest thing. I think Joey Bosa, he's always hurt. And so,
when he's in, though, man, that guy's good. He can disrupt the game.
But they did disrupt Pat quite a bit, that Chargers defense. They had him reeling. So I think, anyway. But yes, the defense was fantastic. And I mean, just to hold the team locked down like that the rest of the game. I mean, the first quarter, I think they had like 120 yards, 10 points. And then after that, they didn't do much. I know in the second quarter, I heard your boy Tony Romo say they only had 2 yards of offense, the Chargers. And so 2 yards of offense in the second quarter, and the Chiefs had to flip the script on that. And I know one of them was a really long pass play. But yeah, it's pretty impressive to watch.
It is, for sure. So the Chiefs down by 10 points, all because of turnovers. All those points come off turnovers. And the defense doesn't allow any more points. And then even so, remember this too. The Chiefs still don't have Charles Omenihu back yet.
Right.
I mean, and he's potentially coming back, October, November, depending on his recovery process. But when he's in there, I mean, you could argue he's the best edge rusher that we have. I mean, I know no disrespect to George or any of those other guys either, but Charles Omenihu is an animal in there.
Yes.
And I want to give a shout out to Felix. The guy from K-State we drafted last year, finally starting to get some consistent pressure in this game. That was encouraging to see.
Yeah, and I think it takes a while for those guys to get going, but once he's figured something out, I think. To your point, he's figured something out to get more pressure, and so good for him for being in the film and keep working hard and taking advantage of your opportunities. Yeah.
Well, the Chiefs pull that out, and now in games that Patrick Mahomes has trailed by 10 points or more, he is 13-12. So he is the only quarterback with a winning record when trailing by 10 points or more since 1950. So basically, since the league has been in existence, no one has ever won and had a winning record after trailing by 10 points or more.
Yeah.
And as they point out in the broadcasters, by trailing by exactly 10 points, he's like 12-0 now or something.
Yeah, 12-0. Exactly. He's man, just on fire. And I know we give that stat to Patrick, but the Chiefs are 12-0 since Patrick's been on the team. And so, I think because that defense, you can't do what you do if the defense doesn't step up. And that defense, man, it's so fun to watch. It's like the late 90s defense where they just are dominant. I think I texted you and during the game, I said, I think we might have a better shot this game, our defense scoring than our offense. And so like maybe we get a pick 6 and get in. But hey. But I will say the one thing that I would like to see our defense do a little more is maybe get some turnovers. Help kind of balance that out. I know this game they didn't have any, and that's also I think more shows the impressiveness. I guess you count the fourth down stops as turnovers. You can say they did have a couple turnovers, but Yeah, I'd like to see like some interceptions or some fumbles or something, just to kind of help.
Well, one thing we know for sure, if a team goes for it on fourth down late in the game, they're probably not getting it. So at this
Yeah,
point, might as well just take the points, right? Stop
right.
trying to get touchdowns because the Chiefs defense has shown that, they might bend a little bit, let you get down there, but they're not letting you in the end zone.
Right. And I think that's a great point where we may think, I mean, our fan base, the Chiefs Kingdom may think Pat's broken or something's wrong with him. But I tell you what, the league does not think anything's wrong with him.
No.
Because they are going, I mean, like to your point, they're not taking the points. They're going for it on fourth down consistently because they're like, hey, we got to beat this team. The only way to beat this team is with touchdowns, not field goals. And so I think, I think Pat will be fine. Pat will be fine.
Oh, yeah. So, hey, great win against a division rival in the Chargers.
Yeah.
Man, our offense, while losing Rashee Rice is a huge piece and definitely going to miss him, I don't think they're going to take too much of a step back. They will a little bit, I'm sure, but not too much, especially some of these other guys can step up. But part of it's going to depend on who we're playing to. If teams are willing to bracket Travis Kelce and force you to beat somebody else, I mean, someone else is going to have to step up. I mean,
right.
No choice. But when you have Patrick Mahomes as your quarterback, to your point, you got a chance to win every game. You really do. Doesn't matter who's lined up next to him. If he's on the field, you have a chance to win every game. So the 3-peat is still very much in play.
Oh, yeah.
First off, I've never known a fan base to be so bitter about a team when a team is undefeated. It seems like the Chiefs fan base, they're just so used to, they want the 2018 Chiefs where we're scoring 50 points a game.
Yeah.
But remember in that year, our defense was also giving up 50 points a game. So
yes,
you have to score 50 points just to win. So it's a different time in Chiefs Kingdom as far as offense and defense goes. But hey, you're still winning games. You're still one of the only undefeated teams left in the NFL. The only AFC team that left that's undefeated.
There you go, number 1 seed, baby.
That's right. If the season ended today, we'd be the number 1 seed.
A bye and 2 home games.
We got a long ways to go. We're maybe a quarter of the way through the season. So
that's right. That's what old what was that? Todd Haley. Todd Haley always talked in quarters. That's the first quarter of the season, boys. 4-0. Now we're walking into the second quarter.
I don't know if he's the guy we want to be referencing on this podcast.
Listen, Todd Haley will fight with you in a bar.
He probably will. But either way, he's not going to be winning any games. So
yeah.
Hey, well, we're excited about the season and what's still to come. Great win by the Chiefs yesterday against a division rival. Don't take anything away from that. Every game's hard to win.
Every game.
We said before, and we'll say again, good teams find ways to win.
That's exactly right.
Yeah. So hey, we're excited for the season to come. Thanks for joining us this episode of the Kingdom Corner. Make sure you like, subscribe, leave us a comment and a great review. That helps us more than anything else. And we're serious about that. Do it. Leave us a review. We really want to hear from you anyway. So we want to hear what you think and what your thoughts are. You got other thoughts? Send us a message. We'll respond to whatever we can too. So this episode is brought to you by Oh Hey Threads. So get yourself a super soft Chiefs tee or Kingdom Corner tee at ohheythreads.com. We'll see you next time right here in the Kingdom Corner.